going on, guys? FaZe Blaziken or Lucas here, and I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. Today is Saturday, or at least I think today is Saturday. At least when I'm making this video, it's Saturday. I don't really know when you guys are gonna be watching this video. It could be a Sunday or even a Monday. But either way, wherever you are in the world, whatever day you're watching this video, I hope you're having a great day. I hope your day is filled with awesomeness and happiness. I know that I'm seeming really positive today, and I'm actually in a great mood today. I mean, as you guys know, I'm all about being positive, being a more positive person. I strongly believe that what you do, like the mood that you're in, the kind of person that you are, it really strongly affects the people around you. And I'm definitely all about that, and I think that shows in my videos pretty well. You know, I always try and look at things in the, most positive way that I can. I always try and treat other people, the same way that I want to be treated. And yes, even through the internet, I definitely think it's always important to treat people the way that you always want to be treated. But anyway, besides that, today's video is actually gonna be it's not really gonna be a negative video, but I'm actually gonna be talking about one of the most negative experiences of my life. I mean, you guys can probably tell by the title of the video. Oh shit, did this dude actually just hit a trick shot? No way, yo. Ooh, with the bill cam. It's always nice to play some BO2 free-for-all and get to see some other people hit trick shots. I like that a lot. But yeah, so as you guys can probably tell by the title of this video, today I'm gonna be telling you guys the story of basically like the closest I've ever came to dying. The closest that I've ever came to what one would call a near-death experience. And I actually never really wanted to ever make this video. I never really wanted to tell this story because this is just not a video that I ever want to look back on. This is not a video that I ever really want to watch back again. It's not really something that I ever really want to remember, and I try not to think about it a lot at all because it's just really scary to think about. It really is. But so the reason I'm finally, getting around to telling the story is because last night I actually had a dream. I re-dreamt the whole experience, and it was actually kind of a nightmare. It really was. And I woke up in the middle of the night. I don't remember what time it was, and I just had that dream again, and it really felt like I was there again, and I wanted to make a video about it. That's what I decided. I decided that at some point in the middle of the night that I wanted to make a video about this. I wanted to talk about this because that's something I really like doing. I love talking about my experiences on YouTube because it actually makes me feel a lot better about the experience. Just talking about it out loud, even when it's just talking with myself, it really does make me feel a lot better about it, and I get to, kind of share it with you guys. So yeah, before I do get into this, by the way, if I seem, a little bit more serious in today's video than my usual videos, it's just because the story is like it's not really a hard topic for me to talk about, but it's something that I take very seriously, and this is not like a joke or like a funny video. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I wanted to say. Anyway, so the story took place in my freshman year of high school, my second freshman year of high school. For those of you who didn't know this, I actually repeated my freshman year of high school. That's right, I did my freshman year 2 times. I did it once in California where I lived, and then I repeated my freshman year of high school in Europe, in a country called Austria. And no, okay, it's not Australia. For some reason, whenever I talk about Austria, there's always some people who think that it's Australia. No, that is very incorrect. It is not Australia. It's Austria. It's a little country in Europe with, I think, about 8-9 million people. It's right next to Germany. The main language that's spoken there is actually German. It's a little bit of a different kind of German that German people speak. But again, I know most of you guys know this. I just want to say it. I was actually born in Austria. For those of you guys who don't know, I was born in Vienna, Austria. So basically, after my freshman year of high school, I had the opportunity to live in Europe for an entire year, but basically the trade-off was that I couldn't go into my next year of school. I couldn't be a sophomore. I actually had to repeat my freshman year of high school. And that wasn't because I was a bad student or anything. That was because my German wasn't good enough to be able to go to the next grade level. I just turned 15 at the time, and for the entire duration of my 15th year of life, I lived in Austria. And in Austria, when you're 15 years old, you can actually get a motorcycle license. When you're 15, you can get your license for something called a moped. It's basically just like a little 50cc, motorcycle kind of thing. It didn't really go too fast. You weren't allowed to go very fast on those things, but it did the job. It was my first, card, so to speak. I had a little motorcycle. I'll put a screenshot, a picture for you guys up on screen. But yeah, so I had a little motocross motorbike, and that was for me the coolest thing ever when I was 15 years old. It was the first time. Wow. Holy shit. I just fucked up. Wow.
Oh my god. No way.
Okay. Like. They're all freaking out too.
I need to jump off.
Oh, I'm so butthurt, dude. All I can say right now is that I am butthurt. I'm very butthurt. No, I'm actually not butthurt. That was definitely, I've never done that before. That was kind of a fuck up. That also just killed my train of thought for the story. But yeah, let's just jump right back into it. So yeah, I had this little 50cc motorbike when I was 15 years old. And to me, like I said, it was the coolest thing in the world. It was the first time that I had ever experienced, this kind of independence. I was always dependent on my parents, to drive me to different places or, to drive me to the bus stop or the train station, wherever I had to go, my parents had to help me with it. And so I finally finally had this thing that was, you know, my own. It was something that I could use to get from point A to point B, to friends' houses, to school, to, you know, wherever I wanted to on my own, and that was just a crazy, awesome thing. It was the first time that I really got to experience independence, you know, what it's like to be independent, and I was really just, like, happy with that thing. That thing made me so goddamn happy. I'd even go as far as to say that up until my life till now, some of the happiest experiences of my life was riding that little motorbike. God, I really can't tell you guys, you know, why it made me feel so happy. I really love gear shifting on like a motorcycle. It feels really cool. Anyway, so over time, I actually got really good at driving my motorbike. I would drive it every single day, and also over time, I'd make a lot of modifications to my motorbike. The little motorbike that I had was a 50cc motorbike, like I said, and when you're 15 years old, that's about as high as you're even allowed to go. These little mopeds weren't made to go super fast, you know, they were made to go about 35 miles an hour. They were made so that you could get, like I said, from point A to point B, but you couldn't drive them on the highway, and you were just really limited with speed because that's just, you know, how it was. They didn't want to give, you know, a super fully powered motorcycle into the hands of a 15-year-old. So, you know, that's just how it was. It only went, you know, up to a certain speed, and over time, I kind of got bored of that speed, so I made modifications to my little motorbike with my friends, and we made it go a hell of a lot faster than was legal at the time. I think, to be honest with you guys, I think I made my moped go up to 70 miles an hour at one point, which was almost double the legal, like, limit. And that really wasn't allowed, like, at all. You really weren't allowed to make your motorbikes go faster, but I did it anyway, and eventually I did get caught for it. They pulled me over, they tested the speed, and I got a huge fat ticket. Again, that's a different story for another day if you want to hear that. But yeah, so this is kind of, you know, where the story gets interesting, I guess. One day around November or September, I'd say, I was driving away from my house, and I don't remember where I was going to. I just remember that it was raining, and I was going downhill because the way that you left from my house where I lived on the top of a hill, and every time I left my house, I'd have to go downhill, and vice versa. Every time I came back to my house, I'd have to go uphill. And on this day, it was raining really hard, and I don't really know why or where I was going. It was really stupid of me to drive that day because I had no practice driving in rain. It's kind of hard for me to tell this story just because, like, when I think back at it, I think of all the stupid shit that led up to, like, this happening. Every time I think about this, I get this, like, weird, tingly feeling inside of me. Like, I don't even know. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic. I always do this. But yeah, so I was going down this hill, I was leaving my house, and I was flying. I can't remember exactly, you know, how fast I went. I was definitely going around like 60, 70 miles an hour, and it was downhill, and the road was a little bit curvy, and it was raining really hard. And so I was sitting on my motorbike, I was riding down, and I came around a corner, and I did something really stupid. I cut the corner, and what that means, for those of you guys who don't know, is I drove into the other lane in order to not have to make as much of a turn. I could basically just go straight by going through the other lane. It's a really stupid thing to do, and it almost, you know, kind of cost me my life. Wow. But yeah, if you drive or if you're learning to drive, don't ever cut corners for any reason, especially if you don't know if there's a car coming. And that's exactly what happened. I cut the corner, I drove into the other lane, and another car came toward me. And what happened next was it happened really fast, and like I said, it's really hard for me to remember this whole situation. I saw the car coming toward me, I knew I was about to hit the car, and so I tried to dodge it, but when I tried dodging it, I slipped. I slipped because the road was wet, you know, it was raining, and I didn't anticipate it at all, and so I did a sharp turn, and I slipped. When you're sitting on a motorcycle and you slip, and you slip with the motorcycle, the motorcycle lands on its side, and you're on the side with the motorcycle, and you're sliding on the ground. I was sliding, you know, the side of my pants was completely cut up afterward. I was sliding on my motorcycle, and the car was coming toward me, and luckily, for some reason, the way that I slid was out of the way of the car. Till this day, like, I have no idea why I didn't slide directly in and under the car, but for some reason, I pushed myself to the side, and I slid just past the car, and the front, like, left wheel of the car just barely missed my head. And then, from what I remember, is I continued slipping, and then I just continued going until my motorcycle and me fell into a ditch. I mean, my motorbike was almost busted, my handlebars were twisted, the side was all fucked up, my leg was hurting so much, I was all bruised up, I was in pain, but I was alive, and I was just kind of sitting there in the rain, and I was just sitting with my moped still on top of me. I was kind of trying to get out of it, and I just realized what had happened, and like, that was the first time. I just remember that feeling. I remember like looking at the rain, and like, it was really calm, it was really quiet around me. It was just like a really eerie, scary feeling, and it just felt like, I don't know, like, call me crazy, I don't really want to talk about religion or anything, but I felt like I was given like a second chance. It was weird. So like I said, when it happened, like, at the time, I was 15, and I didn't really realize, you know, like, that I basically just could have died. My life could have been over right there and then. My head could have been run over by a car and I would have been dead. And over time, that experience has definitely like kind of changed me. I mean, really after that, I just started to appreciate things a lot more. Like, I'm not talking like, I'm so thankful that I'm living right now. Like, that's not what, I don't thank somebody every day that I'm living. It basically just made me really realize that, you know, YOLO, you only live once. It's stupid. It's not even stupid. It's just true. You really only do live once. You have one shot to make your life the way that you want to make it. And it just changed me to the point where now I think a lot more about every big decision that I make in life, anything in life, you know, not even just not even just big decisions, but just, I was trying to look at the other side of something. I was trying, you know, put myself in other people's shoes. I was trying to look at things from the other perspective. I guess I just think a lot more. Maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe I overthink too much. But yeah, that was the story of the closest I've ever come to a near-death experience. That was the day that I almost died. And maybe it didn't seem like, you know, the most outrageous near-death experience that anybody has ever had, and I may have not done a really good job of explaining how, you know, horrific this experience really was for me. Like I said, it's kind of hard for me to talk about it. I really wanted to talk about it today, like I said, because I had that dream. And I'm just glad that I got to share that. I got to tell this story. I actually feel a hell of a lot better right now. But yeah, guys, that wraps it up for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you guys did, make sure you guys smash that like button. I really hope, you know, that you guys enjoyed this story. I actually had a good time telling this story too. It was a little different from my past stories. You know, my past stories have been kind of funny. You know, I talked about getting caught staring at, you know, another girl's ass. The one story that I did tell that was, you know, kind of close to this was my airplane story. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I wanted to say today. I hope the story, you know, wasn't too gloomy. I hope you guys had a good time watching it, you know, me telling the story. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Always remember to stay slothy, and yeah, that's been it. Peace!